Hey everyone, so this next video is all about switching between multiple cameras within OBS using a simple MIDI foot controller with the use of a little software program in order to control keystrokes as hotkeys within OBS, and I'll show you how it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have OBS opened up here. We have a blank slate. Now what we want to do is add our first source camera. I have two GoPros and my Canon DSLR camera. So what I shall do is in sources here, click the plus button below or right click here to add one. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna go to video capture device. I'm gonna add video capture device, click on that. Now it asks you to name it, you can leave it default. I'm gonna call it GoPro 1 and make source visible, it's already clicked, so okay. Now there we go, you can see GoPro 1, hello. Well, with this, it's too big of a picture the way it's filling out here. I'm going to change that by changing the custom resolution size, which is 1920 by 1080. No, sorry, it's not. It's by 720 on this one. There we go. Now what you want to do is also you have to add an audio source to this. So we're going to add audio input capture. And we're going to call that UR44. That's what I'm using. Whatever you're using. Whatever you want, or if it shows the GoPro's input, use that. Hit OK. There we go. Now properties for that, we'll just leave it. OK. You can see this here. My inputs are showing. So now I've got audio input for that camera. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and add another scene. Call that scene 2. You can call it whatever you want. Well, scene 2. Now you notice how everything's blanked and all my sources here have gone. Well, now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add a video capture device. I'm going to call it GoPro 2. I'm going to hit OK. Now I want to use my other USB video source. I have to change the resolution so it shows. I think I'm going to use 720. There we go. Hello over there. Now we're going to hit OK. And same thing, we're going to actually add an audio input capture. I'll just call that UR44, or add existing, which is right here. So let's say we do that, UR44. And there we go, it's back in place there. Now the last thing I'm going to do, because I have 3 cameras I want to switch between, I'm going to repeat that process, add another scene, scene 3, and the same thing. I'm going to add video capture device. I'll call this Canon camera. Okay. Now with this, I'm using, like my previous video, I showed how to use Canon cameras within OBS. I have to use the SparkleCam virtual webcam. That's what it's running the Canon's input. So I've done that. Right now, my visual of that is the screen capture I'm doing for you. So I'll switch that when I go to my external GoPro, my other one, to show you the foot pedal in action. So we'll just leave that for now. I'll go to the custom resolution. I'll make it 720 like the rest of them. There it is. Right now you're seeing just endless mirror option there. Well, don't forget your audio input as well. Same thing. Add existing, UR44. There we go. You see it there. So when you switch between different scenes, the audio input still remains the same. So scene 3, scene 2, hello, and scene 1, hello. I have this set on scene transitions over here to do a slow fade of 1000 milliseconds, 1 second. You could do that at 200 milliseconds and then you'll see the change. It'll be a faster fade, such as that. You can do a cut or a swipe. So if we do cut, we go between them, you'll see it's just a quick switch over. Or we can go to a swipe, where we'll get like a swipe and it will just swipe it sideways. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to assign first a hotkey to that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to settings over here under controls, settings, and we're going to go to hotkeys. Hotkeys right here. Now let's see if I can enlarge this a bit. There we go. So scene 1, num1's already been defaulted. So I don't mind just using the num key on the keyboard if you have that to switch between them. So I'll leave that as num1. Switch to scene 2. I'll hit num2. switch to scene 3, I'll use num 3. Simple as that. We'll hit apply, okay. Now when I go on my keypad and push these, as you'll see here, you'll see it switch. And there we go. There and 3. So we'll go back to 1. Easy switching. You could just leave your keyboard set up like that and you could switch between that with your fingers. But obviously if you're playing guitars or doing things where you don't want to be using the keyboard to touch and switch things over, I'm going to show you how to do that with this foot pedal. You're going to go into Google and you're going to type MIDI Translator Classic. And here it is. We'll click on that. MIDI takes you to this page. Download for Windows. Now Mac users, I'm not sure if there's something similar. This only works for me on PC. However, maybe there's something of an alternative that exists out there, but this is a Windows-based program. So you'll have to find another alternative, or I'll do some searching and see if there is an alternative to this. Okay, so once you've got that downloaded and installed, we're going to open up MIDI Translator. And it's going to pop up a purchase reminder thing, and it'll do a little countdown here. Don't worry about it, it's free. Hit OK. Now you've got this display. I've already got a scene set up, so I'm just going to delete this and start from scratch just to show you how it's all done properly. So we're going to do a new preset, new, and we're going to call that foot switch transitions. Alright, now I've got my, I was going to move this view out the way here. There we go. I have my MIDI controller here, this very old one, via this old school MIDI, plugged into my audio interface input. So I actually have to select my input here. So MIDI in is on my Steinberg UR44. If you have other units, just select the appropriate unit. Okay, so we got that. Now I want to assign channel 1 here to scene 1 in OBS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the translator here. I'm going to add a new translator. I'm going to call that scene 1. Let's say, put this down here. Hit return. Double click on it. Now it's going to pop up this edit translator entry scene 1. So incoming. So it's going to be a MIDI message. So I'm going to click on capture MIDI right here. Click on that. Now when I hit this pedal on my thing, it should read it. And there it is. That is channel 1. Now I'm going to go output and I'm going to create as a keystroke emulation here. Leave it as default. And in here I'm going to hit numpad 1 and it's going to show it there. I'm going to apply. And that one's done for that one. Close that. Now I'm going to add another one. And the same thing. So I'm going to go scene 2. Double click on that. MIDI message. I'm going to do that on foot pedal 2. So hit that. And you see this message here. And the outgoing I'm going to set as a keystroke. And I'm going to call that numpad 2. And you can see me switching in the background as I do that. Now apply. And I'll close. And then one more, add scene 3. Scene 3, done. Double click. Incoming is capture MIDI. I'm going to go number 3. Outgoing, numpad 3. There, and it switched over again. Apply and close. Also, don't forget to save this. So we'll just save as whatever you desire. OBS switch, and there you go, save. I've already saved mine, so I don't need to. And there we go. So I'm just going to test these all. Channel 1, this channel 2, and channel 3, back to channel 1. And here we are, looking over at the screen. I'll go into the screen here. You can see me looking at it. So when I hit the foot controller 1, I'm already on there. So I'll go to number 2, switch, and then number 3, switch. And just like that, we can switch with our feet here. Go down here. And you'll see in the screen 1, 2, 3, and that is how you do it. Great stuff.